This video provides an overview of the first Westlaw New Zealand know-how product, civil litigation. Know-how is a workflow solution which delivers a task-oriented guide through legal matters. It provides litigators with easy-to-follow step-by-step information. The civil litigation workflow set is written by authors with significant expertise in civil litigation. On the Westlaw New Zealand screen, once loaded, Know-how is accessible through the workflow title on the black toolbar. I've expanded the tables of contents a bit. Know-how integrates with the Westlaw New Zealand precedents and forms, which many of you already subscribe to. It can be used as a step-by-step guide for people with limited experience in this area, and serves also to enable senior practitioners to guide and mentor new employees. For this civil litigation know-how, there are 8 main titles. In this example, I want to know about starting off the process for gathering information in connection with my proceeding. I'm browsing through initial steps in civil proceedings, then gathering information, then clicking on the steps. Step 1. At this point, I'll make the far left side of the screen disappear to give us a bit more screen space. So step 1 provides an overview of what your responsibilities are with links to useful information, for example, in this instance, conflicts of interest or information about judicial settlements. The specific tasks you need to follow for this part of the process are outlined near the foot of the page. Going to step 2, this outlines the next part of the process, and you'll see here that relevant legislation is also linked. Returning to the beginning of workflow, supposing I wanted to find the process for discovery of documents. I'm browsing through until I see the step I want. I'll click on the steps and choose step 1. This is a useful synopsis of what the rules about discovery entail, including a checklist. You could download the checklist and print it off and tick the steps as you go. Precedents that are relevant to the current step are always provided. In this instance, a letter to client advising of obligation to retain documents. There's also a completed precedent in case you need help with wording to complete it. I'm clicking the precedent letter. Those of you familiar with Thomson Reuters precedents will recognise this format. The black text is the permanent information, the blue text is for the variables. From here, you would download the precedent into Word and then complete the variables. From this point, you'd apply the drafting aid. This makes the completion easy. The drafting aid takes the person completing the document through the variables one by one, prompting them to fill in the gaps. It's available for use with all of the Thomson Reuters precedent databases. When complete, you can save the completed document to your client file. Returning to Westlaw New Zealand now and continuing down the page we came from, you'll see that there's guidance on the page as to how to implement the process and what your obligations are, and a specific area to cover the tasks you need to complete. At the foot of the page are links to the relevant High Court and District Court rules if required. Moving to step 2, this explains the different types of discovery with links to the relevant rules about them. In step 3, you'll see there are links to the relevant precedents for the affidavit process and another set of tasks to complete. Essentially, the practitioner would work their way through the steps until completed. You may have noticed the Resources tab near the top of the document. This provides a list of precedents for the entire process you're currently working through, giving quick access to the precedents without having to work through each step. Returning to the home page now, though it is simple to browse through the table of contents, a search template is also provided. If you wanted to find information about formal proof, you could enter that into the free text box and click search. The result list will display all the places where the phrase formal proof appears. I'm just going to click on the third result. And then return to my result. I hope this has been helpful, and Thomson Reuters welcomes new ideas for similar video clips. Email trainers@thomsonreuters.co.nz to let us know your ideas or ask for help.